Hi everyone, welcome to week 6. I can't believe it's already week 6. Well, this week you don't have anything due as far as an assignment, but I do want to talk to you about the assignment that's due next week because my suggestion is for those of you who haven't already started it, you probably should get started on it. It's a larger of our papers, so 6 to 8 page paper, and it's due next Sunday. And this is about an ethical figure in your life, or ethical figure that in somewhere in education that you have followed, that you think is a good role model, or that you have think that have brought good character to, or good ethics to the education, the body of education. So with this, a couple of people are asking me if this is somebody in history, if it's somebody you work with. It could be one of each. It could be somebody you work with, or it could be someone in history, and that's fine. I have the reason I have gone the different directions I have gone in is because I have followed some of the most amazing leaders, and some of them have done some spectacular things for kids, and I always just am in awe of the work they've done. So it would be really easy for me to follow this and write a paper about one of them, or the influence they've had. So you could do something like that. And the other thing is, some of them have maybe switched the way you think about something. So include that in your paper. I learned about servant leadership through following some of my colleagues in their leadership practice. I learned about how people serve others almost above themselves, and just watching that is just a rarity. So anyways, be thinking about that paper. You should probably be keeping references now and things to be put in as reference. What I mean by that is find references now that you have been using to put into this paper, and save all your references. Don't after you're done with one project, don't delete your references. Keep all your references and your sources of information, so you can go back to when you're doing other projects down the road, possibly for your capstone. I had a wonderful conversation with one of your classmates the other day about doing just this, is kind of keeping things in a track so that you know where things are. So when you're actually diving into your references, you go, oh, I remember that, and categorize them. Put them in some type of a situation where you could go and retrieve them easily. So that paper's due 6 to 8 pages again, and I'm going to go back to the fact is that use your rubric again. It's pretty evident exactly how I grade at this point. I hope that you understand I go into, and if you're meeting the requirements, I don't grade arbitrarily. This one is you're going to be looking at a person, and you guys shoot for the tens, highly developed. Don't sell yourself short. We only have a couple more assignments due, so just take the rubrics and embrace it. And even it would help me as a reader is if you almost broke it up into where I could find the information and put your headings as such. So if it says identify the individual who contributed to the body of research, make it blatant, make it jump out, make it pop out of your page. I don't mean bold it or color it or anything like that, but I mean make that be really evident to the reader. Again, and then the second part of it is on the rubric is explaining the importance of character education in schools. You want the reader, when I'm looking for something like this, and this is going to be true for any written paper that you have, anything like such as the capstone as well, you're going to be looking at those things and say, okay, where is that in the paper? That's what I do. Did the writer, did the researcher, I'll call you researchers now, did the researcher state this somewhere? If I have to go hunting for it, I miss it somewhere, then I can't give you the credit for that. So make sure that jumps out at me. And then when it says identify the possible framework that could be adopted in support of the Identified Character Education Program. So look for a framework that ties into what your character, the person that you are writing about, what framework did they subscribe to? And it doesn't mean that maybe back in the day it wasn't that they weren't using this particular framework, but you're using your critical thinking skills, you're putting it together. You're saying, this is what they espoused, and so now at this time, this is what that looks like now. So make it really clear in your paper where I can find that information, because this is a big one. This is worth 50 points, and I want to make sure you guys get all those 50 points. And if it's so right there in front of me, then you're going to get all the points. So the next thing I wanted to just quickly talk to you about is character education in schools. It used to be where character education was kind of a nice to thing to do because kids came to us, and they came to us with a certain level of character development from their homes. And now things are kind of all over the place. So what we really need to do is we need to be really explicit about how we're teaching character, and so that the kids are getting it somewhere. And I don't quite know. I can't really put my finger on when things changed. And I'm not one of those people that say, well, back in the day when I was a kid. I'm not going to do that. But there is a difference, and there's a difference that kids don't have the parents don't spend a lot of time. Oh, not all parents. Okay, so I'm going to back up a little bit. Not all parents. Some parents teach their kids from the moment their children are born. They teach them the right character. Other parents are not paying as much attention to this part of the development, or they'll teach them sports, but they forget the character part of that. So it's very important now that we have a character program. And one of the main reasons I've always found that a character program is so important is it develops a common language with kids. And kids latch onto something that is common to them. And if it's a common language that you developed at your school, that you could say, remember how we're supposed to be ethical that's probably not that, responsible learners right now? And kid goes, oh yeah, I remember responsible. I remember that because we spoke about that at our assembly. The principal got on the phone, or the speaker, and talked about ethical or responsibility. They could tie it into something, and they know what it looks like. And that's what, as you guys, you're teachers, so you know what it is. You have to learning. It's not in isolation. Learning is a building block of something that was known, adding parts to the known parts of what you already know. So that's what character education needs to do. It needs to be something that you teach from kindergarten, preschool on. And by the time we have them, we need to be teaching them these things. So by the time they have really big things that come into their lives that they need to address, they have a foundation of what those ethical attributes are, or I'm sorry, character attributes are that would help them through life. And on the website that they gave you on the State Department of Ed's website, they have the International Center for Leadership and Education identified 12 guiding principles of exceptional character. So those are the ones that we need to be teaching our kids. So if you're looking for a character program, look for things. And the interesting thing is, these are 21st century skills. So these are kind of what people call the soft skills. These are the soft skills. So the 12 guiding principles of exceptional character. Look at these and compare them. You may have gone through the class on 21st century learning and teaching in the curriculum class, which one I teach also. But the 21st century skills are very similar, very, very similar to these leadership these attributes. So it's adaptability, it's compassion and kindness and contemplation. So it means giving serious thought to something. It's courage, bravery, honesty, being truthful and sincere, initiative. Are kids taking initiative? Loyal. Are they loyal? Are your students loyal? And that's with faithful and dependability. Are they optimistic? Do they persevere? That goes back to grit. And are they respectful, responsible, and trustworthy? So it's amazing how all of these things tie together. And it's funny how they also tie together with some of our ISTE standards, the International Technology Standards. So some of these tie in the same way. Are they persevering? Are they they're contemplating, they're deeply thinking about something? It's just kind of interesting how all these standards are really pushing for the same thing, output or outcome for our students. So anyways, that's all I'm going to say today, and have a wonderful day. And remember, this week we don't have anything except for your discussion posts, and I should be all caught up with grading by the end of tonight. So hopefully I'll have all these done by tonight. And actually not the projects you're turning in today, but also everything you've had up until now. And then your next project is due not at the end of this week, but the following week, but your discussion posts are due. All right. Again, if you have any questions or comments, please call me or email me or text me. I'm here for you. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.